going on, y'all? See who we have here for a hot second. Got, I have 5 minutes and 30 seconds, so let's see who we have live. I got my timer, so I know I won't get long-winded on this one, but I just want to talk real quick about culture. And I know guys that I admire, guys like Thomas Sowell, guys like Walter Williams have talked about this, but I just want to kind of give a real quick overview on culture. I have people who, the dictionary definition, or a paraphrase of the dictionary definition, that culture is essentially an agreed upon set of norms, mores, traditions, and values held by a group of people, or a people group, right? That's essentially what culture is. And what's interesting is that culture, two individuals, a husband and wife, can create a culture. Just two people alone can create a culture. For example, we can go back from a religious standpoint and understand that, excuse me, when God chose Abram and Sarah, who became Abraham and Sarah, a new culture was created. That you have, and you can look and say, look, all people say, well, everything is all, they like to believe in moral relativism and that everybody is the same, and it's just not true. I talk about equality from the standpoint that we all have equal value in the eyes of our Creator. But at the end of the day, it's our ideas, it's the way that we think, it's the culture that we embrace, that we promote, that makes a huge difference. And all cultures are in no way, shape, or form equal. Okay, they're just not. You can look at the results. I always use the example, and I hate having to use this as an example, but it's just the reality. Those of you who know I'm a Detroit Lions fan. And I always point out the differences. And listen, I don't care how you feel about the New England Patriots. I know people are like, oh, they're the Cheatriots or whatever you want to call them. I don't really care what you call them. But the reality is, in the NFL, right, the NFL is made up of 32 different franchises. And everybody in the NFL is playing football. In football, you block, you tackle, you pass, you catch, you do, and all these different things, right, that are part of the game of football. And so when you look at a team, for example, a franchise like the New England Patriots, and then you sit there and go, they've been pretty successful lately, right? And then you look at a team like the Detroit Lions, a franchise like the Detroit Lions, and everybody is playing football. Everybody's blocking, tackling, passing, catching, and all the things that go along with playing football. But why is it that the Patriots have been to, 7 Super Bowls? And in the last 20 years, and my Detroit Lions, who have been around forever, the Lions organization has existed before the NFL. It was part of the organization as part of when the NFL came into being. They're one of the original teams. But in the 50 years of the NFL Super Bowl era, the Lions haven't even sniffed a Super Bowl. We've never even made it to the NFC Championship game. And as much as it pains me to acknowledge this, you have to acknowledge the fact that there's something different about the Detroit Lions. There's something different in the mindset. There's something different in the culture that's lacking in the Detroit Lions that's prohibited them from making it even to the NFC Championship game, let alone to the Super Bowl, let alone winning Super Bowls. There's a difference in the philosophy. There's a difference in the way that these organizations think, from the leadership on down, that the people have to embrace. And that's one of the things that you'll see is different. And I've talked about things, once again, going back to the children of Israel, is that when God chose Abram and his descendants, and he made it clear that he would bless the whole world through this one particular line, through his son Isaac, who was the second born, through his son Jacob, and down through that, he made it clear that he would bless the world through these individuals, and he created a separate culture. And you can look and see the documentation in the Bible that makes it clear that even though there are many descendants of Abraham, right, through his one of his grandsons Esau, through his son Ishmael, there's many descendants of Abram, but there's different cultures held by these groups of people. And you can see it if you stop and think about it, even in your own family. You can be from the same family, but isn't it amazing how different you can be from your own sibling, born and raised in the same household, hopefully loved on by your parents in the same way. But man, what a difference when you start looking at cousins, how different you can be from your cousins. And it's a mindset, it's a difference in the culture that someone chooses to embrace. And make no doubt about it, you choose to embrace a particular culture. All cultures are not equal. They produce different results. It's verifiable, it's documentable. But once again, culture matters. And when you really stop and think about it and you compare, there's some cultures that are good and some cultures that are bad. And you have to look and say, well, what are the results? Once again, and here's an emotional thing. I'm emotionally a Detroit Lions fan. But I was going to be purely logical. I'm not a Detroit Lions fan because they piss me off every reason. But I acknowledge the fact that there's something wrong with the culture of the Detroit Lions. And there's something wrong with some of these other cultures that are not getting the results. Going back to the Middle East, for example, there's a reason why the children of Israel have better results than their Arab cousins. Remember, these people are the same biological lineage. They're Arab cousins through Ishmael, through Esau. They all come from the same line through Abram. But look at the difference in the culture. Judge them by their results. Judge them by the fruits, and you'll see. You have to come to the conclusion there's something wrong with the culture. So anyway, I gotta run. This was just something that was just flowing through my head, and I wanted to drop this on y'all real quick. And it's not usual for me to do a Friday video, but it just crossed my mind, so I figured I'd run this past you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Take care. God bless.